Hey everyone, it's Nick the Iowa Bird Chaser, and I just wanted to give you a quick loft tour because I get a lot of questions about it. So this is a design I came up with myself based on looking at a bunch of other designs. So pardon the mess, we just got done cleaning up a bunch of the poop and cleaning it out, but the first thing I wanted to point out is the door. You'll notice the door is quite a bit smaller than a standard door. It's taller than me. That was a tip that was given to me from the guy I actually get my pigeons from. What his comment was is basically if you have a normal big door on here, when you go to get in there once in a while, sometimes the birds will try to escape on you when you get in there to feed them, maintenance, things like that. So go with a shorter door, tip number one. All right, tip number two. So you'll need a swing door, which we got in there. Some people put their swing door on the outside. What we actually did is put our normal screened in door on the exterior. That way you can train the birds when they're younger. You can just put them in here and keep this exterior door closed, and you can train them to use the bob by just putting them in here, and then they'll get used to those tines. And then step two, you can let them out. And I'll kind of show you what I do. It's not ideal. I got plans to do something a little more permanent, but for now, I just take my loft scraper and we hang the door up like that, and then the birds can land on this. They can walk in at their leisure. And then how I lock it is actually with a screw. I don't know if you can see that really well, but there's a screw that I screw into that little piece right up in there. And so that's kind of the aviary hangout area. And then I also got a little window there where they can look out and get a nice little breeze. Backside that doesn't get a lot of view is just tin. So actually did tin on the backside, just save some money there. Not visible to the public or anything, so just kind of hidden. And then lastly, you want to make sure you have good ventilation. So we got these vents added on the back side, so air moves in down below, kind of works like a house, then goes up through the top soffit area, which you will not be able to see this, but those top three boards above those vents I actually made so you can take them off for maintenance purposes. And actually, let's just go inside and I can talk about that a little more. So on the inside, that was another tip. Tip number two coming up. Tip number two, put something in the ceiling so the birds can't just keep flying up there and hide from you and get up into these crevices and stuff. So it's a lot easier to catch those birds when you're trying to release them for training purposes. So would definitely recommend putting something up top. Oh my gosh, I got trapped in. I'm stuck with the birds. What are you gonna do? Well, I actually did think about this prior to ever getting stuck in here. I got a little emergency release there, and the door's able to open up. So definitely always recommend adding yourself an emergency release so you can get out if you ever get stuck inside or that door were to get closed behind you. Just gonna do a quick 360 of the inside here. Nothing too crazy. Got a bunch of perches for them. These are supposed to be nesting bowls. They're not really using them yet. I do have nesting material that I can give them. I've tried to put it in here. It just makes a mess because they don't really use it. So got all sorts of perches. This is that window from the inside, so they get a nice view. They love to look out. And it's really toasty in here today. It's probably 32 outside and it feels about 40 in here. It's really nice. Keeps them protected from the wind. And then on the flip side, this is where they come in. So I talked to you about the bob. I got the bob on the inside. So when they're not flying and that exterior door is closed, they'll just come right on in and out at their leisure, and they can hang out there, enjoy the exterior anytime they want. You can see them, they're ready to come in now and get some food. So until they get back in, we'll leave that closed. This time of year it does get hot, so we got a heating mat on the floor. Their water jug's actually going to sit on top of this. Their water jug's not in here right now because I need to fill it with water. And then I got a little heat light for them that comes on, you know, about 3 in the morning to 8 in the morning when it gets really, really cold. They can kind of stand under that if they're absolutely freezing. To be honest, I don't think they use it that much. Two forms of food here. We got the grit and the food. We get some pigeon feed from a local dealer up in Central City, so that's kind of what they're eating. It's got peas in it and all sorts of nice grains. They really love that stuff. They just gobble it down. And then got to give them some grit, so this is the grit container. This is where they get their grit from. Also get that from the same supplier up in Central City. You did probably notice earlier I did a concrete base, concrete floor here, and then I did put a floor drain in it, so if I ever get rid of birds or ever want to fly them and really wash this thing down in the summer, I can do that with that floor drain. So leave some comments down below if you have any more questions about the loft. Overall dimensions, I believe this loft is 3 feet wide by 8 feet long, maybe 3 feet by 10 feet, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 feet by 8 feet long. And that's my pigeon loft.